I am delighted to introduce this guest today. I've known her since she was 8 years old. She has really taken up bridge with a vengeance in the last few years. And it's so exciting to have her as a friend, as a partner and teammate. She's only 17 years old. She's a senior in high school, but she's already got 2 medals in the World Junior Championships. She was my partner for probably my best win in bridge. We got to the round of 16 in last year's Vanderbilt. And it's just a pleasure to introduce Avery Silverstein.
Guy. I don't know. It's great to be here. I should have said that.
Oh, well, the introduction part is probably the part that I think about the most for this podcast. And I didn't think that hard about how to introduce you just because probably the fact that I have pictures on my phone from 2017 in Toronto when we were losing to your dad's team. So Avery's dad, for those of you who don't know Avery, her dad is a professional bridge player, Aaron Silverstein. He plays on Andrew Rosenthal's team for all the North American Bridge Championships. Together, they've won the Vanderbilt. They just came second in the Soloway. And he's also your primary mentor, Avery, for your junior stuff.
Yeah, he's been doing that for years now.
And your mom, Jennifer Binder, you guys used to come to bridge tournaments, but now it's like mom got ditched. When do you think you became better than your mom? When do you think that was have you crossed that threshold? I think probably yes.
Yeah, I have. It's been some time. I'm trying to think. I know I thought it was younger than it probably was. My guess is maybe 4 or 5 years ago, somewhere in that range, like during COVID probably, because I would play on BBO some and she would not. So
do you think has she acknowledged that? Has she acknowledged that you're a stronger player?
Yeah, it took her a while too, I think. I think she didn't want to come to terms with it, but now she can't really deny it anymore.
How much does your mom play bridge?
Not super frequently. I mean, she plays at the bridge club near us sometimes, but I would say that's about it.
And your parents, they probably own that bridge club, right? Don't they?
They do.
So how often are you at the bridge club?
I mean, I go when I can, honestly. The games run during my school days, and they're all during the week, so it's a little difficult for me too. But if I can, I definitely try to make it there. I try to be present. I try to help out and do what I can.
Mm. And what does that look like nowadays?
Well, I would say it's not as frequently as I would like it to be. I mean, during my midterms, I would get out early and I would come down. Or if I have a day off, I'll try to stop by. But obviously, things are quite busy with school and bridge and sports, and I have to sort of balance all of that. So it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah. But do they have you do kind of tasks? How has that evolved, for example?
I mean, I know how to direct, so I can take over directing if someone's filling in, or I can fill in if they need me to, or they have a supervised play, so I can answer the questions for supervised play. I can do things like that.
What do your friends think? Do your friends think it's cool that you come from you come from really a bridge family? What's that like with your friends and how you guys talk about that?
I think it's somewhat difficult for them to truly wrap their heads around what it is that I'm doing. I'm not sure they fully understand what's going on or why I'm doing it or how I'm doing it. But I mean, they definitely appreciate it. They think it's cool. Most of them had never heard of the game before I came into their lives. So there's definitely that aspect of it, along with the fact that it's just it's sort of a very niche thing. It's a very unheard of thing. And especially in the environment of a high school, it's definitely not something you come across. Like I've told my teachers and my counselors, like, don't worry, you'll never have another student like me again. Because in my small town, I just know that that's not exactly feasible for them. And I don't know how much they truly understand. But I mean, like the people I talk to in my school, it definitely fascinates them a little bit.
Sometimes I think it's wild, like when, like you talk about how it's niche, and it's wild to me how much of my life, how much of my waking hours I spend playing and thinking about bridge. But at the same time, like I want to be like so much better as a bridge player, and there's so much more in bridge that I want to do, that it's kind of and I feel like maybe you're kind of similarly kind of hooked on it.
Oh, definitely. I think about bridge all the time. It just sort of creeps up on me. And I mean, sure, it's niche in an outside perspective, but like for me, my life is very centered around it. And like you, I constantly think of ways to try and improve, try to see when I can play more, see what I can do to like hone in on my skills and things like that. And I just think about things that have happened too.
So this is the third time, as far as I know, that you've appeared on like a bridge interview show. You did one with Steve Rain. You did Adam Parrish's podcast. Do your friends and your schoolmates, do they watch these things? Maybe Adam's is more accessible for them than Steve's.
I think some of them do. I definitely have heard people talk about it before. They've like told me like, "Oh, I saw you on YouTube," and I was like, "You did?" Like, even this morning, I was telling one of my teachers about how I was going to do this later, and she was like, "You have to send it to me when it comes out," and I was like, "Okay, I will."
And part of the reason I ask about that is because I kind of want to ask about like absences in school, but I don't want to. I don't want
Yeah,
to get
you
you in
can.
trouble.
You can. It's okay. I mean, I would say that my school is understanding in the way that they know that it's not really negotiable. Like, they know I'm going to do it regardless. And because of that, they sort of try and be as accommodating as they can. Obviously, I get swamped the second I get back. But honestly,
Right.
I don't even think about that when I'm at bridge tournaments. It's like people will ask me questions about school and it won't register to me at first because that's just not where my brain is whatsoever. And yeah, I mean, I would say my school is pretty good about absences, even if it's on short notice. Like when I went to Madeira in the fall this year, I left for 4 days. They didn't give me too much grief about it. And I'm appreciative, ultimately, that I can do this without sort of getting too much of a drawback.
Yeah, I was amused. I've been to that tournament once. I love the hotel. It's right on the rocks on the ocean. And I was looking at the results and I was surprised. I was surprised to see that you were there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, though. And it was a great trip.
Did your dad go?
No, I went by myself.
What's your frequent flying mile situation? Are you starting to accumulate
Ooh,
some?
I'm definitely accumulating some. I mean, I was
Yeah.
really close to getting status on Delta last year, and I didn't even start my account until August, something like that. And so I'm hoping if I get to travel as much as I would like to, that this year I will certainly get up there. But my dad has a ton of status, so I sort of get to reap his benefits anyways.
So do you fly on Delta because that's like your miles situation?
Yeah, I mean, we just sort of picked one and went with it, honestly. They had
Yeah.
good perks, so.
So today's Friday, February 6th, and the NABC starts on the 26th, I think.
Yes,
25th or
that's right.
26th of this month, which is unusual. Um, Unfortunately, we're not playing again in the Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Ethan reached out too late, suggested that too late. What is your plan? I think you're playing the Platinum Pairs, which is the first 3 days with your dad again, who you played with last year. Is that right?
Yes,
And then what
I'm
about
playing with the Platinum Pairs with my dad.
Yeah.
We're looking for vengeance.
Yeah. And what about the Vanderbilt?
I'm not playing. I mean, how
Really?
could I possibly top last year?
Are you
Keeping the
do you
memory
have
alive.
some professional stuff for the mixed pairs?
No, I'm playing with Michael Hu. He's a US junior. He was on the under 26 USA 1 team in Italy summer 2025. He's great. I really like him. And
Yeah.
we talked about it in San Francisco. We were talking and we said that we should play together sometime. And then a couple days after San Francisco, we decided we were going to play the mixed, and I'm quite looking forward to it.
So what are you going to do? There's like a couple days. I think the mix starts on Tuesday, and the platinum is that right? Yeah, the mix starts Tuesday. So
Yes, the mix starts Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, so you just have one day.
Yeah.
That you're not playing.
Yeah. And I'll spend that day looking at the Vanderbilt field, looking for you to repeat our streak from last year.
So you won G&T Flight C
Yes.
a couple years ago. You beat your fellow New Yorkers in the final, I think.
Yeah, it was the battle of the New York teams.
And then you've got a 12th place finish in the 3-day light master pairs in the summer with your dad. Mm-hmm. We finished 6th in the mixed teams this past fall. I really felt like we had a chance to. I thought we had a chance in that event. I did not have. Against the eventual second place team, I botched. I blew 2 boards, which I need to get over. But I thought we had a shot at that one.
Yeah, but I mean, there will always be more. There will always be more, and we played great still. Says
the 17-year-old. But I mean,
there's still always more.
As far as winning like a big event, like is the what would you say is the closest? Like with the 12th with your dad, the mixed, like what do you think like for that?
I would say the mixed. I mean, with my dad, we didn't ever really drop like super low. We were in the top 20 for most of the event, I would say, after the second session on the first day. But we had a really big last session to come in 12th. So that didn't feel as attainable. Like, I think we had a 65 or 66 in the last session.
Wow.
So while that was nice, and while I was like, wait, we're actually going to finish somewhere real, it's not the same as the mixed. I mean, the mixed, it felt like we were up there for most of it. Yeah. And that we were really pushing the top.
Yeah. Just winning is just the best. And when you have a chance and you don't get it done, it's very frustrating. That's my experience with that.
Yeah. I mean, I felt the same way about junior stuff. 2 years, two times in a row, actually. But
you guys had some great comebacks, and certainly in your first junior, when you won the silver.
Yes.
You won silver in under 16. Mm-hmm. And you guys were trailing, I think, in all 3 of the knockout matches that you, like by 30 or something after.
We were leading going into our last segment of the semifinal match. But other than that, yes, we were bottom 3 or 4 teams after the first 3 days of the round robin, after the first 2 days, sorry. And then we brought it back to get into the KO. It was just like, after all of this fighting we had done and after all of this pushing we had done, not getting the gold medal, I was very affected by it. But I mean, now looking back at it, I'm quite pleased. But I remember at the time I was completely crushed because we went into our final quarter of the final match down by maybe 7 or 8. And then it's like anyone's game. And I knew we were getting crushed, and there was sort of no hope.
I think that I think it must have a lot of kind of currency to tell people that you have a silver medal in junior world championships. I mean, I think that probably sounds really good when you tell somebody. Like,
yeah, I would say so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
For sure.
And hence, like a junior world championship would be, that much bigger of a deal.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this year, the kind of the way the juniors work is every 2 years they have what's called the World Youth Team Championships, and this year is the transnationals. So I think that event, the transnationals that is this year, I think it's probably gaining prestige, but it's not nearly as consequential as the World Youth Teams Championships. Would you say that that's the case, or what? What do you?
Yes, I would say that's true, just because a lot of the juniors, like a lot of us, were quite close. So the countries all sort of mix up. And a lot of the sort of prestige and honor of winning something like the World Youth Team Championships, I would say, is the fact that we're divided by country and the fact that you're competing against your friends and you know your friends are like really good. And while it's satisfying to beat anyone, I would say it's more satisfying to beat the people that you sort of play bridge around more, the people that you train around more. And also, fewer people go to the transnational because a lot of people sort of have this idea that, okay, well, it's not the world.
Yeah. And also, it's probably not sponsored as much by individual countries. I mean, I think the U.S. is doing a good job of helping provide scholarship funds for kids to go to this tournament, but the World Youth Teams is just that's just the bigger slice fish, I guess.
Yeah, I would say so.
So do you have a team all lined up then for the transnationals this summer, or have you figured that out?
I don't think I'm going to play. I mean, maybe I will, but I don't have a plan to do so at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'll be surprised if you don't have some offers after people hear this conversation. Where is that tournament? Is it in South Majority?
It's in China, I believe.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's not so easy to get to.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy location. It's somewhere I've never heard of, given that I can't remember where it was.
Yeah. Huh. But you're playing in the World Championships this summer. I think you're playing the mixed professionally.
Yes, I am.
And what about the Open? Do you have you have plans for the Open World Championships?
Might be professionally. If it's not, then I'm not sure, but I would like to play it. So I'll probably try to figure something out.
And will this be your first time playing in a World Championships, not just Junior World Championship?
Yes.
I remember you and your mom were in Orlando for the World Championships in 2018.
Yeah, we were.
So, but you didn't play.
No, I went there to go to Universal Studios.
Did you consider, like, was there a possibility that you might play at that tournament?
Honestly, no. I mean, I think at that stage in my life, playing in these large scale events was very much not on my radar. It had not really occurred to me very much at that point. At that point, I really didn't know or particularly think that I was going to be taking bridge as seriously as I am now.
Yeah. So what does your mom say about like how into bridge you are? Like what is her kind of take?
I think it sort of took her by surprise because I mean, when I was younger, I took to it quite quickly, but I had it's not that my progress was stagnant. It was just, I would sort of play with my mom, play with my first ever junior bridge partner was a guy named Jack Bogey. He's still one of my best friends to this day. I see him all the time. I play with him quite frequently still, although we're not regular partners anymore. So I would play with him a lot because I've been playing with him since maybe around when I met you, maybe a little bit before.
Before. He looked it up today. He said he was 10 when you guys first played together.
Yeah, so he was 10 and I was 8. And so it's been 9 years that I've been playing with him. And I knew him before I started playing with him for maybe about a year. And I played with him. He was one of the main people I played with. I played with my dad when he was available. I remember I made him play the midnight knockouts with me in Toronto. And we won.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember he was not happy because he wanted to sort of go to bed early. And he figured, okay, that was back when it was actually at midnight too. And he was like, okay, we'll play one match, we'll lose, and we'll go back and go to sleep. And we didn't get out until 3 a.m.
So this was in 2017. You played the Midnights with your dad?
Yes.
Wow. And won.
Yeah, we sure did.
That's pretty good. So your dad said that, I think it was after the juniors when you really started taking it seriously. Like, I guess the time that you won the silver medal, is that right? Or did you play one before that?
I played the junior trials the preceding Christmas time, but Jack and I sort of just wanted to go. We didn't really think there was a chance that we would get on a team. We hadn't really thought that far ahead. We just sort of wanted to play the tournament, get our faces out there in juniors, see what was going on. And it was after that we got an email to potentially play U16 USA 2. And I remember I got the email, I texted Jack, I was like, are we doing this? And he said yes. And I decided, okay, if I'm going to represent my country, I cannot be bad at bridge. And so that was, I would say, when both of us sort of started really honing in on our skills, trying to get as good as we could, as quick as we could.
And what did that look like?
It looked like a lot of Q-bids. It looked like a lot of online practices, just playing online, calling with my dad afterwards and talking about the hands. It looked like spending weekends at sectionals, regionals, I would say 3 weekends a month. We were at junior practice on Saturday and Sunday nights. We were taking it very seriously. So much of our time was dedicated to bridge.
And that was the junior, this was the junior trials in 2022?
Yes.
So, but it's right after Christmas, I think.
Yes, it's the
junior trials take place.
Yeah, it's like the school Christmas break.
So when you went to those junior trials, and you might not even know because it was several years ago and you might not have been involved, but did you have to pay for anything?
They book your hotel room for you and they cover your flight. So no, you have to book your flight yourself, but then you send them the receipt and they cover it for you. They're very good about the whole thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And how many kids do you think were there?
I would say the second one that I went to in 2025 or 2024 was bigger than the one in 2022. Because, I mean, part of it is that in 2022, they didn't run a U16 trials, which I was actually surprised with how well the U16 trials did, given that they didn't even run one the first time. And I mean, I would say there was definitely some shifts. Like U21 was a little smaller this time around. I think Rona was bigger, though. I think U26 was probably about the same or maybe a little bigger. There were definitely way more people here this time. I would say the first time it was maybe let me think. I mean, because maybe 100 kids.
Wow.
And this time maybe 150. I don't have numbers on that. Those numbers could be very off. But my thinking is just teams of 4. There were 8 teams of 4 in U21 alone last year, and that's 32 people. So probably a lot.
What's it like being around all these bridge enthusiasts who are I guess it goes all the way up to 25 years old or whatever. So I guess it's a pretty wide range of ages.
Yeah. I would shamefully like to admit that I don't really know most of them. I mean, a lot of them are people that I've just never seen before, that I've never really spoken to. I know who they are briefly, but I would say I spend most of my time at the trials hanging out with mainly my teammates, maybe some of the slightly older than us people. But I don't know. I mean, I see people around, and it's strange because I'll have kids come up to me because they know who I am, and they'll come talk to me. And I don't really know who they are. I sort of do. But of course, I'm always happy to talk to the younger kids, especially. I mean, I think it's important.
Yeah. And I'm actually a board member of the ACBL Educational Foundation. And I know that we donate some money to the trials. So just for anybody listening that like gets excited about the fact that, there's all these kids getting together to play bridge at a high level and wants to donate. I think the USBF, I don't know if you can donate directly to the USBF, but
I think you can.
you can donate for that. Yeah, I guess the USBF. Your dad was he was the president of the USBF. That's the
Yes.
United States Bridge Federation. Yeah, so you can donate to help make that happen. We should have maybe we should put something in the show notes that, can direct people if anyone is so inclined.
Yeah, you can put the link in the description.
So your dad, you guys are playing the Platinum Pairs together for the second year in a row. How did you ask him to play? Did he ask you? Did he say yes immediately? Like, give me some details on that.
I asked him to play and said that, and he basically just said he would be happy to if he doesn't have work for it. And I need to finish well in this event with him because I was so dissatisfied last year. I won't quit making him play this event with me until we get to day 3 and we place well, and then everything will be okay, and then I can move on and let him do whatever. But no, he can't escape me until that happens.
What's it like having your dad as your I think he's your primary mentor, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. I would say so, definitely.
Yeah. So what's it like? What's that like?
I mean, there's pros and cons, I would say. It's definitely strange sometimes watching all of my teammates and close friends sort of just defer to him, seeing them text him. It's definitely strange. It's very convenient for me because I can ask him questions pretty much whenever I want to. And obviously, I don't want to sort of materialize him, but he's a very valuable resource, obviously, because he's been playing the game since he was my age pretty much. He's had a lot of experience and he's always willing to answer questions, which I very much appreciate. But also, I don't want to get accused of nepotism. I don't want people to think that because he NPC'd our team over the summer, I don't want people to think that if I'm playing more that it's because I'm just his kid and that's why. I always feel in general throughout Bridge the need to sort of differentiate myself from him, to stand out as my own player as opposed to just a nepo baby, basically.
But those are kind of two different things. Yes, if he's the NPC of your team, yes, that could be nepo. But the fact that that you can ask him questions, that's just taking advantage of that you've got a great bridge player in your house that lives in the same house under the same roof as you.
I agree. I just hope other people see it that way as well.
How frequently do you ask him? Every time you come up against a situation where you're unsure, or how do you think about it?
I would say most of the time, especially when I play online, if I see a Cubid's hand that I'm curious about, I'll screenshot it and send it to him. If I'm playing on BBO with someone, I'll screenshot it and send it to him. Things like that. It's less so when I play in person, honestly. But having the hands online as sort of something to look back on, I do send them to him quite frequently just to see what he has to say.
And what kind of percentage of the time do you agree with what your dad says versus question what he says?
I agree with him about 80 to 85% of the time, I want to say. I mean, most of the things he says are sensible and logical and they make sense. And I could understand why he feels the way he does. But sometimes the way I look at things, I will try my very hardest because I know he's as good as he is to look at something he sort of said. And sometimes I just don't agree with it. And when I would say up until maybe last year, I would get down on myself about that. I would think that I must be wrong, that whatever I'm thinking, it must just be invalid. But sometimes in Bridge, there are so many different ways to think about the same hand and the same situation. And it doesn't mean that one person's right and wrong.
Yeah. And it must be such a thrill for your dad to be connected to this network of people that you guys share together, I would think. And, they've got, you guys are doing I don't know if you still are, but there was a time when you're doing multiple Zooms a week where you're going over boards, and your dad logged in one time and misspelled your last name. He spelled it Silverstein instead of Silverstein. And so now, like, everybody teases him about
Yes, that one stuck.
But what's the A2 part? There's an A2 Silverstein. That's you.
It was, no, he was supposed to be Aaron Silverstein 2, and he became Aaron 2 Silverstein. And the A just like, we just shortened it. It's to the point where I will, or Jack will, refer to him as A2S, just instinctively. That's just what we call him when we're talking. And my school friends will have no clue who we're talking about or what we're talking about, because Jack has met quite a few of my school friends. And it's always so funny to me how we just instinctively do that because of one typo.
I talked to Jack today, and he said that you do not smile for pictures.
That is a very common thing that people say about me, yes. And it is usually true. I would say I've gotten a little better about it.
Is it intentional, or
yes?
Why? Because you don't like how you don't like the look of your smile or something?
I can't like smile really on command. And if I do, it's fake, and I can tell that it's fake, and to me it looks so fake that I just don't want a misrepresentation of who I am or what I look like. Because it's not hard to get me a smile per se, it's definitely not.
Yeah.
But for pictures, yeah, I overthink it for sure. And there are a lot of pictures on various platforms where I look very mad as a result of it.
So I also reached out to your current junior partner, Ethan Derman, who I interviewed a couple of episodes ago, just a little bit before you. And he said that I interviewed him first because he's better than you are.
Okay, I was supposed to be interviewed first. I blame you for that one.
We did have some technical difficulties.
Yes, we let it be known that we did try to film before Ethan, so I must be better, therefore.
Do you have, you're a senior in high school, there's something that the Ed Foundation does. It's called the King or Queen of Bridge. Are you going to apply for that?
Definitely.
Give us a little, besides your playing resume, what other things do you do to earn consideration for Queen of Bridge?
Okay, I see. I'm getting put on the spot by the board member himself. Well, I would say a lot. I mean, I talked about this a little. I've talked about both of these things already, but a lot of what I do at the club, I'm always willing to answer questions. I'm always willing to help people learn. I'm always willing to provide people resources to take lessons. Either I'll offer to do it, or I'll suggest someone who I know is good, or I'll tell them which classes, because my dad has a class one day a week at the club. I'll tell them to go to his class, or I'll tell them to keep coming to the supervisor, or I'll just answer their questions directly. I'm very good about sharing my knowledge with them. And like I said, I think it's very important to talk to sort of like the younger kids, the younger juniors at trials, at local tournaments, at anything. I want to help them in every way I can, because it's time for a new generation to form. I mean, I feel like there isn't really a generation below mine right now that has a large population of people who are looking to take it seriously. And we need to build that up. We need to ensure that happens. And I plan on helping to make sure that happens.
But have you done like a bridge club at your school or anything like that?
I haven't done anything at my school. I mean, I don't think my school would take very much to that, honestly. It's very hard to get things started at my school, and they don't usually last very long.
All right, let's talk. I've delayed it long enough. Let's talk about the Vanderbilt last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just generally, you want me to start speaking on it?
I don't know. I'm just kind of bathing in it right over here, just thinking about it. Just I feel like, yeah, it's a good feeling.
I still remember the final comparison. We were done so long before Ethan and Jack were, and we were just walking around, and we weren't really saying much. We were just walking around in basically silence because we both knew there was a chance, but we didn't want to voice that we both knew there was a chance. And I remember we talked to the Rosenthal team, my dad's team, and they were looking at our card and they were like, yeah, looks like it could be pretty good. And I said, shut up. That was what I said. I think I told Bakke to his face, Christian Bakke, he's from Norway and he plays on the Rosenthal team with my dad. Yeah. He's on the Norwegian Open team. And I think I told him to his face to shut up because I wasn't ready to hear it. I needed to wait. I needed to see because I didn't want to put a voice behind it in case we didn't win. And I didn't want to, I wanted to give Ethan and Jack a chance to do their thing, to bring back a good card too, without any sort of bias from us. And I remember I was so nervous doing the comparison because they seemed happy, which seemed like a good thing, that Bakke was standing over us reading off the imps because I was too in the moment to sort of calculate it. And then I remember the last board came in and I had been adding it up as we went and I said it and I was like, we won. And I remember you hit the table and the bidding box fell and then everyone told us to shut up. But at the same time, I remember they were like, shh, wait, you won. And I was like, yes. It was a surreal moment.
When you said we won, that was, yeah, I like banged the table and the bidding box just went exploded everywhere.
It was our personal bridge confetti.
So for those who don't know, okay, I was playing with Avery and Ethan was playing with Jack. Ethan Derman was playing with Jack Bogey. And we were like the 55th seed, I think, or 52nd seed, maybe.
Something like that.
And we're playing the 7th seed in the first day in a 60-board knockout match. And at the end of the first half, we were down by 62 M's. And then we got 32 back in the third quarter. And now, yeah, I mean, I would have been really disappointed if we hadn't won. Like, I definitely thought that we won. When we were waiting for Ethan and Jack to finish, I definitely thought that we won. So the fact that we did win was, I mean, our opponents, they got to what would have been a making slam in 6 clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And now my left-hand opponent bid 6 diamonds. And now Zach Grossack bid 7 clubs, and he kind of like, he was, you could tell, like he bid the hand well, but the dummy Stu Rubenstein had like a diamond suit that I don't think he'd ever like really told Zach about, but Zach had a single suitor with clubs, and I was on lead with the ace of diamonds, and I was pretty sure the ace of diamonds was cashing, but I didn't lead it. I didn't double because I didn't want to piss Zach off any more than he was already pissed off. And that, because Zach is sort of a force of nature. And, there was a point in that fourth quarter where he got up and walked away. Like he said, Stu, let's take a break. And when you can get your opponents to take a break in a knockout match, that's a good sign.
It was a long break too. It was like a 10-minute break. I was watching the clock. Yes, it took 10 full minutes for him to come back. I kept looking at the clocks and I was like, is he coming? I also was that was, I think, when I first really sort of started to wrap my head around it, because I was so focused on making sure that I did the right thing on every board we played that I hadn't really taken a second to just sort of sit back and think about what was going on. But that was when, because he had left, I was like, wait, we have a chance. We have a real chance.
Like we did really well. Like there was one board where Stu opened the bidding a club, and then I think you overcalled a spade, and now it went pass, and Stu doubled and passed, and Zach was trapping, and now I bid 2 clubs, which was I think I had 6 clubs or something, and that was like our spot, like we ran to the opponent's opening suit, and I think they missed. I think they ended up playing 3-0 instead of 4 hearts, maybe, which was the making game. And yeah.
Yeah, that was the board directly before the 7 clubs hand, too.
Was it?
It was. I remember because it was the last 3 boards on the convention card. Our last 3 boards, all 3 of them were like plus double-digit positions. And that's what was crazy, because they weren't the last 3 boards we played. They were in the middle of the match, but they were the last 3 numerically.
Wow.
And I remember the last 3 boards were like win 10, win 11, win 12 or something like that.
Wow. Holy cow. Wow, I didn't realize that. Do you still have the scorecard?
I don't know if I actually have the scorecard. I might have a picture of it somewhere. I'm sure I do.
Yeah. I wonder if I have it. I keep a lot of my scorecards from the NABCs. I'm going to have to look for that one. That one. The thing is there are a couple of things. Like, first of all, the Rubenstein team was very classy in defeat. Like, they were very kind, and Zach gave me a great compliment, which I really appreciated, that I played well. And then the other thing was just kind of the disbelief of like other people, I went to the Goodwill reception. I'm on the Goodwill committee, and and Jonathan Steinberg and Jacob Morgan came up and said, is it true? Like, is it true that you all beat Rubenstein? And I think I told all this story on the most recent episode of this podcast interview with Maya. But she said it. She's like, and it was true. Like, everybody was rooting for us, and that's rare in bridge, to have like literally the whole tournament, except for your opponents, rooting for you.
Yeah, and even the following 2 days, like, people kept coming up to me and saying, hey, like, good luck, we're really rooting for you. And after we won in the round of 32 also, I had so many people coming up and saying, congratulations, you're in the round of 16. Like, did you think that you were going to make it this far? And I would always answer, of course. Was there any doubt that we were going to make it this far? But no, it was definitely a surreal experience. It was crazy having everyone watching and everyone rooting for us, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, that last match versus Dinkin that we lost in the round of 16 was a frustrating match. But you had was that the hand where you led from ace third to diamonds? Was that in that match against 3-0?
I think so.
Yeah. Even I had like, she found my diamond suit on lead. I had like queen 10 fifth of diamonds or something, and she led it. But even then, it wasn't enough. It was funny. Like, I remember strutting. Like, I had a strut around Memphis because of how well we were doing in the tournament. And then I remember seeing Sam, they got all the way to the semifinals, I think.
They did.
And I'm like, I saw him and I was like, I know that strut. Because he had the same strut that I had like 2 days, like 2 days before.
Yeah. No, it's honestly inexplicable how good it feels to just be there knowing that everyone knows what you've done and everyone is rooting for you to continue.
What did your dad say?
I think he was as much of sort of in shock as I was. And I mean, obviously he was very happy. He was shocked. And he would sort of tell us, like, okay, like, this was the toughest match that you're going to have in a while. So if you can win this match, like, you can win any of them. Because Rubenstein, I mean, highest seed that we played initially.
How did your mom find out?
I think my dad called her and told her.
Yeah.
She sort of gets like the major updates of the tournament, and this was definitely one worth a phone call.
What did she say?
I think again, she didn't know what to say, what to do, how to react. I don't know if I actually even talked to her that day. I think I talked to her the next day because the day we won was filled with so many people just like coming up to me, talking to me, asking about it. And then I wanted to get to bed early so that we could continue our streak. And I think I talked to her the next day and she said, "What are you playing today?" And I said, "The Vanderbilt." And she was like, "Wow, so it's true." Because I think maybe she thought that my dad was like pranking her.
Yeah.
I think it was that surreal. I mean, and she was like, "That's great. Good luck." She doesn't like to watch me play, and she doesn't like to watch my dad play either because she thinks she's bad luck. But she was certainly pleased.
Ethan said that the college admissions process has not been that you didn't get into UVA. These people at the University of Chicago seemingly have no idea what they're doing in admission. And what are you thinking? Like are you thinking you said you might do a gap year?
Yes.
What would that look like? What would that look like if you did a gap year?
A gap year would look like a lot of bridge, obviously. It would be trying to get professional work, trying to establish more in that direction, just playing as much as I can, going to tournaments I've wanted to go to, things like that. It sort of depends. I mean, I still have so many schools to hear back from. What Ethan said is sort of what I told him when I was feeling very frustrated one day. But ultimately, I applied to 26 colleges and I've only gotten definitive answers from 3.
Oh,
so
wow.
There's a lot to still be learned. There's a lot to still know, and I'll see where I end up.
What are you hoping at this point? Like, do you have any?
I applied early decision 2 to Johns Hopkins, so that's where my hopes lie right now. Princeton has always been a big one for me. I would love to go there still. But honestly, we'll just see where I get in, and we'll see what my life looks like, and we'll see. We'll see.
When I asked your mom in preparation for our conversation a couple of months ago, when I asked her what I should ask you about, she said that you are on the rugby team.
Yes.
And you're also on the women's rugby team, and that you're also maybe close to getting a black belt in some sort of mixed martial arts.
Yeah, I'm close to my black belt in mixed martial arts, and I am on the rugby team. Those are both true statements.
So, how do you relate those two things to bridge?
I mean, I've always sort of thought about it this way with bridge. Sure, you have like your team, you have your people that you play with, you have your people that you sub in and out with, whatever. But bridge for me, obviously it's a partnership game, but I am very focused on what I myself can do to make everything go better. And that's true of martial arts as well. I'm fighting for myself. I want to see what I can do. Rugby is different because you're sort of like, it's not necessarily about just what one person can do. It's about what the whole team can do. And obviously that's true in bridge too. But it's just sort of a different realm of that. And I mean, I would say that ritualistically, I do the same things before any of those things. Like I drink my Celsius. Everyone always sees me with the Celsius can in my hand. Always, always, always before anything competitive. I do that. I sort of take some time, get there early, decompress. And then no matter what I'm doing, it's time to lock in. It's time to go.
I saw when I was looking up your bridge winners history, I saw Nikki Hudak made a joke about Celsius.
Yeah.
And I remember you and Ethan getting Celsius when we played the regional in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And I'd never heard of it before. But the reason that I'm asking about this is recently there was like a warning that Celsius had accidentally put some like alcohol in some of their cans. You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah, there was a through some accident, some of the Celsius cans, and we could look it up, got alcohol in them, but sounds like you did not. You never noticed.
Yeah, I can't say that has happened to me. No, my Celsius keep me alive.
What's your Celsius? Which one do you like?
I mean, I think my favorite one is probably like maybe mango lemonade, maybe green apple cherry. Those are the ones I like if I get to pick, because at nationals when I buy them from CVS or 7-Eleven or whatever sort of store like that is nearby. But when I'm home, I buy the big packs from Costco. So I don't get as much flavor selection. But those are what I reach for at tournaments.
So Kent Minyoki was your coach the first time you played juniors.
Yeah.
And he said you were a great teammate.
I appreciate that. No, I mean, I loved Kent. He was such a positive light on our entire team. Like, even when things were looking bleak, he always had a smile on his face. He always had all our stuff ready to go. He was always our biggest cheerleader. He was amazing.
Like, I think about that last day when we ended up losing to Dinkin and the Vanderbilt, and I had some bad boards, and you were a great partner to me in that time. So I can speak to that. But I thought that was a nice compliment. You know, it's not always easy to be a great partner or teammate.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, because my biggest thing is I will never get mad at anyone the way I get mad at myself. When I mess things up, I get really mad. But I will never get mad at anyone else for making mistakes, because it's not intentional. It's human nature. And what matters is just moving forward and trying your best from that moment on. You can't change what you've done in the past. You can only determine what you do in the future.
What about when your dad makes a mistake?
I don't even yell at him. He yells at me. He gets very mad at me. And then him getting mad at me makes me mad, because I tell him, this is not productive. Just chill out. You're stressing me out and you're going to make me play worse. But I get like a little frustrated if he forgets the system. But that's about it. I mean, and I think that's natural because he claims he remembers it. Father, if you're watching this, I see right through you. But no, I don't really get that mad at him either. I just get frustrated when he's mean to me.
How much input does he have into your system? Like, he doesn't play the same system with Andrew Rosenthal.
No, he doesn't.
His primary client, does he?
No, he doesn't.
No. So where did you get your system from?
It's stolen from a bunch of different people. I have bits and pieces that I've taken from a lot of pros. Most of the professionals are very, very willing and very, very happy to send you system if you ask for it, to sort of like, at least when you're a junior, I'm not sure how it is in general, but they're very, very willing to help, very willing to answer questions. So it's sort of just a collage of many different pieces of system that I've gotten from many different people, that myself and Jack mainly, and I guess a little bit Ethan and a little bit Daniel, who was my partner on the U21 team this past summer. It was really me and Jack, but I would say all four of us sort of put a little bit into it, put a little bit of effort, and it's basically just us. I mean, my dad has like veto power. If he thinks something is really bad, he can get rid of it, but other than that, not much. We know more about it than he does, I would say.
So like, what has he gotten rid of?
I mean, there are just certain things that he really doesn't like if we play. I would say the biggest one is we are not allowed to play one club, two diamonds over Collis Michaels. That's something very big for him. He does not let us play that.
Because he thinks you're going to forget it?
Yes. It's very accident prone.
Yeah. So what's like your base? Who'd you get your base system from? And like, why did you decide you play transfers over a club?
Yes. Well, that was my dad's idea, because Jack and I were talking after the junior trials about changing our system. We were like, okay, we'll play the trials and then we'll reconstruct and we'll play something that isn't just 2-over-1. Like, we weren't sure what we wanted to do. We thought maybe we'd want to play a strong club or something adjacent to that. And then my dad said, well, how about you play this? And we looked into it and we decided that it was a good transition because it's different, but the base is still the same. And I quite like it. I mean, I am proud of what particularly Jack and I have done to work on the system, to put into the system. It's still under constant, I would say, construction. Like, we'll talk about things from time to time. I don't necessarily change things when I'm playing with Ethan, But playing with Jack, we change our system all the time, and it's great.
How many pages of system notes do you and Jack have?
Somewhere between 80 and 90, I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot, because that's what the base for any combination of our partnerships was. When I would play with either Ethan, Jack, or Daniel, we all played those notes basically. When Jack and Ethan played, they played those notes basically. It's just a hodgepodge of everyone's sort of ideas on one document because it standardizes it. I mean, if we did ever for some reason need to switch partnerships, we could have all played with each other very easily.
So you play transfer club. So basically you open one club on all balanced hands?
Yes, all balanced hands that are outside of our no trump range.
And then what do you think how much better do you think you are at signing contracts because of that?
I think it's definitely better at that. I think it's honestly marginal how much it really matters because there's only so few hands where stuff like that matters. I would say not even right versus wrong siding, but we just different side a lot of the hands. And it, sometimes it'll just be maybe a trick, maybe not. Maybe it'll be we get a trick. A lot of that I think is somewhat random, but I think when it matters, we are, our system is better for that.
And you play constructive 2 major bids, is that right?
We do. That is correct.
Why did you decide to do that?
Well, we open light. So we're opening, our base system is we open all 11s. So, a 10 count with a 6 card suit, that sort of also falls into that range of opening all 11s. But then it sort of blurs what your 1 major, 2 major is versus your 1 major, 3 major because you're accounting for hands between 10 and 18 points and splitting that down the middle makes it very, very hard to reach games. So we play 9 to 12 for our constructive 2s. And then 1, 2 can be 13 to a bad 16 and 1, 3 can be a real 16 to 18.
But I thought you guys played Gazilli.
We don't.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised that you don't.
I mean, Jack and I do, but I don't play it. It's not in the base system. But that's also a very recent addition.
And do you think that's better?
I think it doesn't matter very much. I think it's good to play something over a major and no trump. Just some form of system there I think is good. It doesn't necessarily need to be Gazilli. I know Gazilli is, particularly in Europe, quite popular. And I think it's good. I think it's pretty good. But, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. I think the most important thing in terms of any system is just making sure that both people are not only able to play it, but willing to play it. Because if you're playing something begrudgingly, you'll never play it as well.
So do you play the 2 diamonds opener, as then that's multi?
Yes.
And do you think that's what do you like? Do you like that?
No. You play multi so you can play constructive 2s is my sort of take on it. Those hands need to go somewhere. So they go into multi. But the multi-bid itself is not great. I mean, I think it's particularly not good if it has strong options. I don't play any strong options, but that's just my opinion. Of course, everyone has the things they like to play.
Yeah. I've never really played multi. Maybe once. Actually, when I played with Boya Brogland, who's Christian Baki's partner on your dad's team. One of the best players in the world. We played weak multi. We played weak multi. And then we didn't play constructive, but we play, I think we played 0 to 6 or 0 to 7. Yeah, maybe that was what we did. But it seems I think in their heyday, Mextroth Rodwell played multi. I think I feel like some of the top pairs, that's something that it's destructive, I guess. But
yeah,
I don't really have experience.
Well, I think a lot of people share
against it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people share the belief that you play multi so that you can free up 2 hearts and 2 spades to play something else. I mean, some people play constructive. Some people play the Polish style where it's 5 of the major, 4 or 5 in the minor. People play a variety of different things, but it's more so just to free up the space, I think, to do that and put more hands into your bidding.
So when you and Jack played the junior trials initially, you guys played under 21?
Yes.
And who were your teammates?
Caroline and Derek Zhao. They are siblings. They are from New York. Or no, they're from New Jersey. I'm sorry. But yeah, we met them at the Providence Nationals in 2022, and we played the YNABC with them that year, and we came in maybe third, and they had sort of talked about doing it, and so we decided why not.
Are they still in the USBF junior program?
I believe so.
Is the USBF junior program still like happening?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think last cycle in particular, people were in a much bigger rush to sort of create teams and start training than they have been this year, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing that it's starting later this year. I mean, I think it takes a lot of the pressure off of it because it seemed like there was a lot of pressure and a lot of drama centered around picking people to play trials with. And now there isn't really any of that. I mean, I'm doing the USBF program every week, but I think it'll gradually increase again as it gets closer to the time to start picking trials teammates.
But the reason I ask is because it seems like you guys kind of have your own thing where your dad's your mentor. Is that part of USBF or is that separate?
Yes. So we basically just reserved him. We just sort of tell Alex Kolesnik and Amber Lynn, who are the two people who sort of do all the organization for the USBF junior program. And we just sort of tell them, like, he's ours, we're in your program, and then we just sort of manage ourselves from there.
And then the junior trials, I think I heard that they're going to be in the summer.
No. That was originally something that they were thinking about maybe doing. I was very against it, so I'm quite happy that they're not doing that anymore, but they are now planning, I believe, to do it the week after Christmas as they normally did.
Got it. And you're probably going to play under 26
yes.
For that.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we don't know who the team is, and we don't want to put that, make that drama happen. So we're gonna steer clear.
Yeah,
of that.
We'll see.
Could you imagine not dating a bridge player?
I could imagine it, but quite honestly, I think it's difficult to have someone who's just completely outside of everything, who has no idea, like, truly what the game is, because there's only so much that you can understand from an outside perspective, no matter how hard you try, I believe. Like, I think it's just not entirely possible to get someone who's really going to understand everything that goes into the game. And so, yeah, I mean, that's sort of my stance on that. But it's not that it's impossible. It's just unlikely, I think.
Let's do a ranking of best 17-year-old bridge players in the world. Avery Silverstein's ranking.
Best 17-year-old bridge players.
I'm teasing. You could do it if you want, but I
don't think I know any other than myself.
Ethan?
Ethan's 18 now. He turned 18 last month.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
What about Nikolai? Is Nikolai 17?
He turned 18 last month.
Oh, come on. There's got to be. What about, there's got to be some Americans that are 17.
Who's 17? I mean,
is Nikolai better than you are?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you know?
I mean, okay, he's on the Norwegian Open team. I have to give him credit. I have to give him credit where it's due.
He's on the Norwegian Open team now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've violated my own rule. Like the rule of, so there's an 18-year-old named Nikolai. What is his full name?
Nikolai Heiberg Evenstad. I might have butchered that really badly, but that's roughly his name.
You did better than I did. Yeah, I only played against him. I think I played against him maybe for the first time. Maybe I played against him in I think I played against him in Iceland last year, but I played against him in San Francisco recently at the fall NABC, and I could tell that he's serious.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, we beat his team in the U21. But
you did?
Yeah, we did. The last round of the round robin this summer, it was our team against their team, and whoever won would get the spot in the top 8. and the other team would be out. Unless we like maybe tied, then maybe we could both get in. But we came out on top.
That's a tough position to be in. When you gotta win that last match, like only one team can qualify. That's pressure.
Definitely.
What do you think is the most pressure that you felt playing bridge?
Honestly, maybe like any of the matches in salsa. Those, like, every day we were under so much pressure. We were under a lot of pressure getting out of the round robin, and I played that match. We were under a lot of pressure winning our quarterfinal match, and I played that match. And we were under a lot of pressure in the semifinals too, and I played that match. And that was the one that we ended up losing. But honestly, any of those days, because I know that my entire team had been waiting for this very moment for so long, and we wanted it so bad, and we just couldn't bring it home, and it kind of sucked. But
I imagine that when you finish second, then you probably expect you're going to, and you put as much time in as you did, in the intervening 2 years, that it was probably disappointing. I think Ethan said that when I interviewed him, that it's like, it was really, first was really the only outcome.
Yeah. He might have, I'm not sure if he did. I don't remember if he did. I did watch his interview. He might have used the phrase like chasing gold. That was something that we said a lot. That was something that we sort of made our mantra. It took us, it was 2 years between the 2 World Championships, and we'd come off that silver, and I know all of us really wanted it, but particularly Ethan and I spent so much time talking about how badly we wanted it, about how much we wanted it. And I know, particularly for both of us, obviously for everyone it was hard, but for us, I know it really, really sucked.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the Americans have not really, like, we used to be we would win the Junior World Championships all the time. And I feel like it's been a long time since an American junior team, or did the under 21 team,
No, they came in second.
They came in second. Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time since an American junior team has won.
Yeah. And hopefully we can do it in U26. We can complete our podium of medals.
Yeah. What do you got on tap this weekend? We've got like this terrible snow ice combo down here that just won't go away. I hurt myself. I fell on the snow ice.
Yikes.
What do you got? What do you got? It's it's the week before the Super Bowl. What's going on this weekend?
I think the weather isn't supposed to be that bad. It's supposed to snow a little bit tomorrow morning, but not a lot. We had it pretty bad last week. I mean, the snow was still everywhere. We had over 2 feet, and it's been colder than I've ever remembered it being here. But in terms of precipitation, we're safe for now.
So you guys are doing junior stuff with your dad on Saturday?
Sunday.
Saturday.
On Saturday, I'm planning on going to a fight in Long Island.
What kind of fight?
MMA. I'm watching one of my instructors. Should be fun. I hope he wins.
What kind of, do you do fights?
I don't do formal fights like that. I used to compete. Not anymore, because the competition Sunday is always the last Sunday of the fall nationals, and then the other one's in June. But I don't really want to compete in June, and so I just haven't been doing it for a while. But I used to.
So does that mean you're still going to get your black belt, or how do you get that?
Yeah, they don't make you fight for it anymore.
So, what's your record in fights?
Pretty good. I have 3 gold medals and 3 silver medals.
Wow. Okay. How do you get a gold medal?
You beat everyone in your category.
So, like, how many fights is that?
My first gold medal was 2. My second gold medal was 4. My third gold medal was 4. My fourth gold medal was 4.
And is it like you're fighting other women that are in your weight?
Yeah, I've won gold 4 times. It's 4 gold and 3 silver.
So you're fighting other women that are in your weight, or could you fight like a 30-year-old woman?
No, it's by age. It's by age and by weight.
All right. Schmaves.
All right.
St. Louis. I'm going to see you in St. Louis.
Definitely.
And what are you doing for the rest of the tournament? You're playing the 2-day. Are you playing the Silldor with Ethan?
Yes.
That's Thursday, Friday. And then what about the Swiss?
I'm playing with Jack. I'm not sure who we're teaming with yet, but that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Anything I left out?
I don't believe so.
No?
Nope.
All right. Well, it's always a pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
And
thank you for having me.
I remember when I still see you on Bridge Base, your name on there is Avery Flo, FLO. And I remember I used to see you on there and I was like, oh, she's not really doing this. And then I remember I was in New York one time and I came and met up with you. You were playing at the Bridge Club. You remember this?
I do.
And all I want to say is I'm just so happy to be wrong about your interest in bridge. It's really great. I really love it. I have pictures on my phone from 2017 and, of me and you, and came across them just the other day. I sent you one.
Yeah.
I just love it. And it's so cool. There you were. I went to the European Championships and there you were in Poland. This past summer, and we're playing together. We're taking scalps. It's great.
Yeah. No, I'm quite glad that I'm really happy to be here.
All right. I will see you soon.
Yep. See you soon.